Hello, viewers. Today's topic is Makgeolli controversy. What are the controversies in the world of Korean rice wine brewing? That's today's topic. I'm glad you're here. If you like this video, please click that like button and subscribe. And please click the bell to be notified when I publish a new video on the subject of rustic Asian rice wine every week. And please share this video wherever it is appropriate. I appreciate your help in spreading the word about rustic Asian rice wine. So today's topic is controversy. What do people argue about in the world of makgeolli? First of all, I'm going to try to classify the kinds of controversies there are, talk a bit about those things, and then I'm going to state some of my opinions that might or might not be controversial. I don't think they're controversial, but they are my opinions. They're my tastes, so you might find them controversial. So you can let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's today's video. So the categorization of the controversies in makgeolli brewing. Well, first of all, there's the nationalism. I have to get that out of the way first. Whenever we're talking about alcohol, different countries make different versions of alcohol, and you're probably going to think your country's version is the best. Now that I'll give an example, of course, from my own past is I'm Canadian, and when I was a kid, I knew for certain, I was absolutely sure about this, that of course Canadian beer is better than American beer. This was a time when I hadn't had more than a sip of beer my entire life, but I just knew that was a fact. It was a case that all Canadian beer was better than U.S. beer. That's just the way it was. And so that's nationalism, and you got to that's a source of a lot of controversy because, of course, with Korea, Japan, China, all brewing rice wine, there are certain historical conflicts and current conflicts that spill over into alcohol, and you can argue about that forever. So there's always going to be some nationalistic arguments about rice wine. Can't avoid that, but actually, I am going to avoid that because I'm not going to talk about that further right now. Maybe that's a topic for another video, but I'm not going to pit one country's alcohol against another. Not today. We'll have to talk about that later. But that is a real source of controversy. Whose alcohol is better? Yes, that can start a lot of arguments. So the next kind of category of controversy in the makgeolli world, I think, is just the personality based ones, the kind where there's a celebrity, a TV show, and maybe someone's a jerk, and somehow it involves makgeolli, and that's the controversy. You can see this one here. This is a few years ago. There was this controversy with a celebrity chef, Baek Jong Won, and this was in the media for a while, but I think this is just a personality kind of conflict, or maybe a celebrity drama conflict. It's not really based on makgeolli itself. And the third category of controversy I want to mention today is the brewing school, like a school of thought, or an actual brewing school that has different priorities or different methods for brewing, and these methods could be in conflict with each other. They could be opposite ways to brew, And of course, these once you learn these techniques at a brewing school, you might be quite inflexible and you might want to only do it the way you were taught. That's the authority. The schools, of course, have the authority of tradition behind them, and even though they might conflict, and one of these examples is the temperature to add the Nuruk mixture to the Godubab. How cool do you let the Godubab get? Now, I let it cool, but there is a brewing school that adds the Nuruk mixture to a warm Godubab, and that would be a conflict, and definitely you could argue about that for a while. And I'm sure there are other kinds of conflicts in that same vein, and these kinds of controversies really are at the heart of brewing. You argue about these things. You're arguing about how to make the product, how to brew the most traditional way, perhaps, or the most effective way. Just whatever your definition of best is, you could have this kind of brewing argument with someone, and so that would be a kind of controversy. And that's an interesting kind of controversy for me, and I'm interested in those kinds of controversies, and I would want to share them with you as I find out about them. I guess lastly, there could just be some commercial kinds of controversies. These don't seem very common. There's not a lot of news about commercial Makgeolli production that has controversies, maybe like potentially some contaminated ingredients, but that seems to be very rare. So this is not a common thing, but that of course could happen. That could be in the news. That could be some kind of scandal. Okay, so that's four kinds of controversies in the Makgeolli brewing world. The kinds of arguments you can have with people that might or might not know about brewing. You can have these kinds of arguments with. Let me know in the comments your favorite arguments about brewing. But now I'm going to get to some things I don't think are controversial. The kinds of things like I don't like artificial sweeteners. I don't think that's a very controversial stance to take. All right, so let's go through rapid fire this list of. I'm going to have to make a binary choice, A or B. I'm going to have to choose one or the other. So let me make my choice quickly here. Okay, I'm going to have the computer read each one, and I will respond. First one,
Dan Yangju or Yangju.
I choose Eyoungju.
Chapsal or Mepsal.
Chapsal, of course.
Sweet or sour.
If I have to choose, I'm going to choose sour every time.
Slow or fast.
Slow.
Hot or cool.
Cool brewing is the way to do it.
Hand or spoon.
You know, I stir with my hand for the first time. At the initial stage of brewing, I stir with my hand.
Wine yeast or not.
I use wine yeast. That's just the way I do it. I like the consistency.
Jug or Bambach.
I choose Bambach. It's just a bit more convenient.
Ipgug or Nuruk.
This verges on the nationalism thing. This is Koji versus Nuruk. I'm going to choose Nuruk. And lastly,
rice or water.
This is one where you should not choose. This is equality. Same amount of rice and water. That's the way to do it. Feel free to argue with me in the comments about this controversial episode. Thank you for watching.